Today we're going to tell you about May Day. May Day is a public holiday usually celebrated on May 1st. It is an ancient Northern Hemisphere spring festival and a traditional spring holiday in many cultures.
The earliest known May celebrations appeared with the Floralia, Festival of Flora, the Roman goddess of flowers, held on 27th of April during the Roman Republic era, and the Maioma or Mayuma, a festival celebrating Dionysus and Aphrodite on an unknown date in May every 3 years. The Floralia opened with theatrical performances. In the Floralia, Ovid says that hares and goats were released as part of the festivities. Perseus writes that crowds were pelted with vetches, beans, and lupins. A ritual called the Florferdum was performed on either April 27th or May 3rd, during which a bundle of wheat ears was carried into a shrine, though it is not clear if this devotion was made to Flora or Ceres.
Since the 18th century, many Roman Catholics have observed May and May Day with various May devotions to the Blessed Virgin Mary. In works of art, school skits, and so forth, May's head will often be adorned with flowers in a May crowning. The 1st of May is also one of 2 feast days of the Catholic patron saint of workers, St. Joseph the Worker, a carpenter, husband to Mother Mary, and surrogate father of Jesus. Replacing another feast to St. Joseph, this date was chosen by Pope Pius XII in 1955 as a counterpoint to the Communist International Workers' Day celebrations on May Day.
The best-known modern-day traditions observed both in Europe and North America include dancing around the maypole and crowning the Queen of May. Fading in popularity since the late 20th century is the tradition of giving May baskets, small baskets of sweets or flowers, usually left anonymously on neighbors' doorsteps. In the late 20th century, many neo-pagans began reconstructing some of the older pagan festivals and combining them with more recently developed European secular and Catholic traditions, and celebrating May Day as a pagan religious festival.
Traditional English May Day rites and celebrations include crowning a May Queen and celebrations involving a maypole, around which dancers often circle with ribbons. Historically, Morris dancing has been linked to May Day celebrations. The earliest records of maypole celebrations date to the 14th century, and by the 15th century the maypole tradition was well established in southern Britain. The spring bank holiday on the first Monday in May was created in 1978. May Day itself, May 1st, is not a public holiday in England unless it falls on a Monday. In February 2011, the UK Parliament was reported to be considering scrapping the bank holiday associated with May Day, replacing it with a bank holiday in October, possibly coinciding with Trafalgar Day, celebrated on October 21st, to create a United Kingdom Day. Unlike the other bank holidays and common law holidays, the first Monday in May is taken off from state schools by itself and not as part of a half-term or end-of-term holiday. This is because it has no Christian significance and does not otherwise fit into the usual school holiday pattern.
May Day has been celebrated in Ireland since pagan times as the Feast of Beltane, and in later times as Mary's Day. Traditionally, bonfires were lit to mark the coming of summer and to grant luck to people and livestock. Officially, Irish May Day holiday is the first Monday in May. Old traditions such as bonfires are no longer widely observed, though the practice still persists in some places across the country. Limerick, Clare, and many other people in the other countries still keep on this tradition, including areas in Dublin City such as FRIESEN.
May Day is celebrated throughout Spain as Los Mayos, which translates to the Mays, often in a similar way to Fiesta de las Cruces in many parts of Hispanic America. By way of example, in Galicia, the festival Os Mayos in the local language consists of different representations around a decorated tree or sculpture. People sing popular songs, also called mayos, making mentions to social and political events during the past year, sometimes under the form of a converse, while they walk around the sculpture with the percussion of 2 sticks.
In Czech Republic, May Day is traditionally considered as a holiday of love and May as a month of love. The celebrations of spring are held on April 30th when a maypole, majka in Czech, is erected, a tradition possibly connected to Beltane. These bonfires are also lit on that day. The event is similar to German Walpurgisnacht. It's public holiday on April 30th. On May 31st, the maypole is taken down in an event called Maypole Felling.
May Day is celebrated in some parts of the provinces of British Columbia, Quebec, New Brunswick, and Ontario. May Day was also celebrated by some early European settlers of the American continent. In some parts of the United States, May baskets are made. These are small baskets usually filled with flowers or treats and left at someone's doorstep. The giver rings the bell and runs away. Modern May Day ceremonies in the U.S. vary greatly from region to region, and many unite both the holidays' green root pagan and red root labor traditions. May Day celebrations were common at women's colleges and academic institutions in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, a tradition that continues at Bryn Mawr College and Brainerd University to this day.
In Hawaii, May Day is also known as Lei Day, and it is normally set aside as a day to celebrate island culture in general, and the culture of the native Hawaiians in particular. Invented by poet and local newspaper columnist Don Blanding, the first Lei Day was celebrated on May 1st of 1927 in Honolulu. Leonard Red and Ruth Hawk composed May Day, Lei Day in Hawaii, a traditional holiday song.
Thank you for watching this episode of Adventurous Kids.